Hello and welcome to Apex to Oval for your weekly motorsports news recap. Today we're on episode 11. We've made 11 weeks of content. That's crazy. Thank you guys for watching or listening or whatever. Thank you. Um, let's get right into the first NASCAR article of the week. A NASCAR team owner died in a tragic crash in North Carolina. Hattori Racing Enterprises owner Shigeki Hattori tragically passed away at 61 after he was involved in a two-car wreck at around 9:15 a.m. Saturday morning. Hattori founded Hattori Racing Enterprises in 2008 and hosted teams in the Xfinity Series, Truck Series, and ARCA Menard Series as late as 2024. Hattori Racing Enterprises won the Truck Series championship in 2018 with Brett Moffitt. Prayers out to Hattori and his family. We're going to take a quick moment of silence as we. All right, thank you very much. Um, Jack, what do you thoughts? I don't know what. I mean, it's just tragic, isn't it?
Yeah, it's, you know, rest in peace. I think that what the team put out about it was nice. Um, not the team. What NASCAR put out about it was nice. Um, I think that it's just a tragic incident. I don't know.
Starting off on a great foot. I should have left this towards the end. Anyway, um, rest in peace uh, to Shigeki. So, um, on to our second. Um, Bubba Wallace was accused of race manipulation by fans after late wreck with Kyle Larson. Many fans think Bubba intentionally wrecked Larson to give his teammate Tyler Reddick a better chance at winning. But what don't realize is Kyle Larson blew by Bubba and then brake checked him in the middle of the corner, causing him. Larson said he was checking up for Tyler Reddick, who hit the wall in front of him and panicked by hitting the brakes. My personal opinion, racing incident. Jack, what do you think?
I don't know about racing incident per se because Larson wasn't racing so much as trying to be out of the way of leaders. Um, but it's very clear, and Larson even apologized like in real time for checking up as much as he did. Like it's very clear that that's what happened, but unfortunately, people are going to see Bubba on one side, Larson on the other, and a sizable chunk of the fan base is going to automatically take that position,
The
right?
black driver versus the racist. Oh
Keep in
goodness.
mind that
That's, that's, oh god.
keep in mind that like Bubba and Larson are friendly.
Yes.
Um, they also, had been friends for a while. It's not like they're really rivals in anyone's mind but the fans, right? It's just something that happened. I don't know. But braking like that in the middle of the corner, I mean, that's gonna cause a wreck at race speed when you've got
Yeah,
someone near you.
especially when Bubba isn't realizing that you're going to break. Like Bubba didn't see if Bubba saw what was going on in front, he might have broke, but like he didn't see anything. He couldn't see anything. Larson
Even
was in
then,
front of
I
him.
think it's debatable whether Larson needed to brake that much.
I don't think he did. He was not
Yeah.
on trajectory to hit Reddick at all. Like my personal opinion, there would have been no breaking. The worst that's gonna happen is Kyle Larson has to turn in more. Tiny tap, turn in more. At best, like, or at most. Like, it's not really, like, Reddick was so far ahead of him and he was still carrying so much speed that, like, but it is what it is. Um, On to our third and final NASCAR article. If you know you know what the NFL is, and you know the Baltimore Ravens, you know the biggest P word female dog or female cat or whatever the hell on the field is their quarterback, Lamar Jackson, who chokes in the playoffs. I'm sorry, that was rude. Lamar Jackson's a good quarterback. God, I hate him so much. This whole situation like made me hate him.
What?
Jackson
Okay.
filed a trademark dispute against Dale Jr. and the number 8 he was trying to trademark, saying it was too similar to his Era 8 brand. Dale Jr. resolved the issue by trademarking a stylized version of the number 8 that he used in his time in the Cup. Now, my thing is, why are you suing him for a number, right? What, why are you doing that? You're just asking for other number 8s who, other people who have an 8 trademark prior to you sue you. Why? Like, it doesn't even look similar. And I'm sorry, you shouldn't be trademarking the number 8 or have any say in it. Dale Jr. came before you, and Dale Earnhardt came before him. There should be no dispute. Either way, it got settled. Dale Jr. Chose a stylized version. But what are your thoughts, Jack, on that?
I mean, keep in mind that the stylized version is the original DEI 8.
Yes.
Um, like, it's not just any stylized version. Um, I mean, it's kind of unfortunate, but at the same time, the JRM font is kind of similar to football fonts. And the thing with a lot of these trademark lawsuits is that you gotta do them. Like, in his case, his brand is Era 8. It's not just 8, right? But
Yeah.
the way that trademark law and like IP law works is that you have to do these kind of lawsuits. It's the same thing with like people really rag on Nintendo for how aggressively they protect some of their IPs, but once you become aware of something, if you let it slide, that basically opens the door to like anyone copying it, if that makes sense. Like it becomes
Yeah.
kind of a slippery slope where there are all these examples of companies and brands that look really bad because they're fighting these random trademark wars. But then when you kind of dig into it more, it's like, oh, legally they kind of have to have this fight because if they don't, then you could get someone turning around using that as precedent for them selling direct knockoff merch, right?
Yeah. I think my whole thing is why are we trademarking numbers? It's a fudging number.
I mean, to be fair, it's not just the number. It is Era 8 by Lamar Jackson. Like the
But
era part is key in it, but yeah.
how
I
does
mean,
that
trademarking a
doesn't
stylized number like football number, I mean, I feel like it's been done before. Um
so is the NFL just not to use that number? Like is Lamar Jackson forced to not use that? Like what precedent are we setting?
I
Because
mean,
that doesn't seem like a good
clearly there's a
precedent.
precedent in the fact that JRM was trying to get the like trying to make a trademark of their own on the style. Like that's how this started. Was that JRM was
Yeah.
attempting to trademark that version of the letter 8 of the number 8.
Yeah.
Like they were trying to do the same thing.
Yeah, I say just let numbers be numbers and stop trademarking them and let them be used.
I think
Anyway,
that the way that certain numbers are stylized being trademarked makes sense because otherwise you can't have the hat you're wearing right now. You know,
well,
it stuff like that. I think that this is just one of those weird crossovers between, I think it's pretty standard in NASCAR for teams to be able to trademark the way that a number is stylized. And I think that whoever Lamar Jackson has hired as his like IP legal team is clearly on the more aggressive side, but there's good legal reason for that. Like he's also
yeah.
had conflicts with like it was this past summer he had like there was news about another case where he was trying to defend his trademark, right?
Lamar?
Yeah.
I have no clue. I don't follow Lamar Jackson. I follow my glorious King Colin Cat. Sorry. No, I don't know if he was. I don't know. I don't.
But in any case, I
Uh,
honestly think it's cool that they're using the DEI 8. It's slanted the same way. It's nostalgic. It's Dale Jr.'s team. Like it's not the end of the world. You know?
Yeah, I guess. Um, okay. Um, on to our first F1 news story. An Alpine reserve driver has jumped ship to Haas. Hirakawa has jumped ship from the Alpine reserve driver role to the Haas reserve driver role after impressing in FP1 at Suzuka this past weekend. The switch had to do with Hirakawa's um, ties with Toyota Racing and Haas's ties to Toyota Racing. Hirakawa also served as McLaren's reserve driver in 2024. Um, I don't know, it's a little fun. He jumped ship. He left Alpine and went to the better team, aka my glorious king, Gene Haas's team. That's a joke, but I love America's F1 team, soon to be Andretti.
Yeah, I
Jack,
mean,
what are your thoughts?
he was part of a handful of reserve drivers for Alpine, right?
Oh yeah, you got Franco, you got him, you got Paul Aaron or Aaron Paul or whatever the hell his name is. The ex Mercedes guy. They have like 50 different reserve drivers for no reason. I think they're just weighing their options on whether or on when Jack Doohan fudges up enough that he has to be replaced.
And I think he's now the only, he's now the first slash only official reserve driver for Haas, right? Because usually they just use Ferraris if they like need
Yes.
to.
Yeah.
Um, because obviously they've been closely tied with Ferrari historically.
Yeah. They use
Haas has.
Ferrari. Yeah. So the whole thing with uh, the change is because Haas is partnered with Toyota Gazoo Racing, however you say it, for basically developmental purposes. They will keep the Ferrari engine. So they do have very strong ties with Ferrari, and now they have ties with Toyota.
Yeah. Um,
Um,
which is cool. But yeah, I
I'm
don't
gonna
know.
skip the
This is cool.
second one, Jack. I'm gonna skip the second one, and we're gonna do that one last. I think you're gonna want to talk about it. Um, let's go to our second F1 article. Carlos Sainz was fined for not showing up to the national anthem as Suzuka. Sainz was fined 20,000 euros for being late to the national anthem this past weekend. Sainz was visiting a doctor due to stomach issues, which is why he was late. Jack, what are your thoughts? And I actually have one more thing before we talk about the big one that happened this week. But what are
I
your opinion on that?
I guess he's lucky that this was a third of what the penalty should have been. But
Half.
um,
Oh, well, yeah.
no, like I think that the typical penalty was 60,000, right?
Was it?
So like they
Yeah,
lowered
something
it
like that.
because he had a tummy ache, but that is one expensive tummy ache. Um,
Yeah.
no, I don't know about. I doubt it was a tummy ache. I think it was probably more nausea. If it was upset stomach, but whatever it was, it feels kind of stupid to be punished for needing to see a doctor before the race. But I guess it's in the rule book. No, there's not really much defending him.
Yeah. On to our third and final F1 article, Jack. Sergio Perez in talks with a couple of F1 teams. Um, Sergio Perez did say this, with a possible return in 2026, but only if the project makes sense. Jack, as a Sergio Perez lover, um, as someone who aggressively defends Sergio for his war crimes against Red Bull, no, I'm kidding. Um, um, as someone who has defended him a lot to me. What do you think?
I think that he's kind of the ideal choice for maybe, let's say, a new team looking to pair him with a driver that might
Oh,
be new to F1.
screw it. You know what? I have an idea. Daniel Ricciardo, Sergio Perez.
No, 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 because
I'm so
Cadillac's gonna
sick
want
of
an
it.
American driver in there, right? Or
No,
at
we
least
can't
an
have an American driver until it's Andretti.
um. But I think that if he were to be one of the two drivers at Cadillac, that's being so experienced, racing for multiple different teams, and while he was at Racing Point, like that was a team that kind of was Force India before that. That was kind of a lot of transitions with that team. Um, like you're talking about a driver that is going to be able to give really good feedback and really help with the development of that team and getting them
Yeah.
up to speed in F1 in a way that not a lot of other drivers that might become available would be able to do, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like the only other one. I mean, Ricardo would offer the same kind of benefit, but honestly, even then, I might prefer Perez at this point.
I prefer Danny Rick purely based off of how popular he is, but I would also prefer Sergio Perez because he's a better driver. Currently, is what it is.
I know
Um,
that hurt you to say.
dude, I was like, I was like, do I say this out loud? Like, I don't believe it, but I'm gonna say it. Like, Sergio Perez is a good driver, but I mean, I love Danny Rick. I love me some Danny Rick. Anyway, there were no IndyCar. Well, okay, there was one IndyCar article. I just didn't post it because it seemed like it's too far along the line right now. But apparently, IndyCar is expecting to upgrade their cars for the 2027 and 2028 years. So in 2 years, the whole car. That was a
Nice.
thing, but I didn't post that because I didn't think it was. There hasn't been much said about it. It was just yeah, I said it. So let's go to
Good
our
stuff.
Xfinity predictions. Jack, you had Ross Chastain, Watermelon Man, and I had Christopher Bell. Right. Your winner was Brandon Jones. You had Chase Elliott in P2, Justin Allgaier in P3. You had Watermelon Man in P4. Carson, can't believe Carter Zillis P6, Christian X P7, Nick Sanchez P8, Sammy Smith P9, Sheldon Creed P10. Most places gained, Ross Chastain with 23 places going from 27th to 4th. And most places lost was Taylor Gray losing 29, going from 4th to 33rd. Chris Wright, Leland Honeyman, and Josh Williams all DNF. That I watched the first 30 laps and then proceeded to fall asleep. Jack, what did you watch the race? And if so, give us a little synopsis.
I was, I'll say, following the race from PNC
Okay.
Park in Pittsburgh
Oh my
while
God. Did you watch
also
Paul
watching.
Skeens pitch?
No, he didn't pitch the. He
What?
didn't pitch the series. Um,
Damn.
but what I will say is that Ross Chastain was leading late. I was so excited. Then the caution came out and his pit crew sold. They
Oh
didn't
my,
really
we
sell that
remember
bad,
this. Oh, I
but
remember. You sent me a
I
message.
was so mad because I thought I had a chance and it didn't work out. But still,
Rossi
good
boy,
run.
Rossi boy couldn't get it done because the pit crew sucked. Yeah, watermelon. Would he smash a watermelon because he's in Xfinity, so it's lower competition, which means he
Yeah,
technically should win?
you win a race, you smash a watermelon. Also, shut up with that.
Sounds good.
Chase Elliott is a
I
Cup Series champion and didn't win.
yeah, but Chase Elliott doesn't have a signature celebration like smashing a watermelon.
Okay, he smashes a watermelon
Chase
wherever he
Elliott is a
wins. This
boring
guy,
driver. You know, Chase
Ross
Elliott. Here's
Chastain,
this is huh?
Ross Chastain was grinding to start his career. Like he didn't crack the Cup Series until way late in his career. He was grinding with backmarker teams in like Xfinity. Got his break with Nice in the Truck Series, and then Colleague, and then up to Cup. You think that any race win doesn't still mean a ton to that man?
I mean, Jack, you have to take into account. I don't know anything. I didn't know that. I don't know his hit. I've only started watching last year. I'm still learning the drive.
Chastain
Cool.
is like the anti-pay driver. That man grinded his whole career.
He's the anti-pay driver. God, I love Chastain. He needs to get a win. I want to see a watermelon smash. On to
Right?
the Cup Series. Um, rest in peace to Jack's.
Yeah, that was
You
a
and
rough
Kyle
start.
Larson. You and Kyle Larson. Not only did he have a rough start, but he came back on the track, raced like a couple of laps, like tens of laps, and proceeded to fudge over his own race. He DNF'd. He ended P37 with 1 point, and I had Joey Logano who finished P13. Now here's the thing: Joey Logano, I think actually in the Cup Series race, he got so by his picker because I'm not gonna lie, he was P5 at the caution. How do you lose 8 places in a caution? And I can't believe it. Joey Logano could have been fighting for a win. He did not. Denny MF Hamlin, baby. 2 in a row for him. Your top 10 was William Byron in P2, Christopher Bell in P3, Reddick P4, Ryan Blaney P5, Chris Buescher getting Ross Chastain P7, Chase Elliott P8, Ty Gibbs with his first top 10 of the year. He's finally putting it together, Jack. My prediction is coming true, finally. And Kyle Busch in P10. Most places gained, Ross Chastain with 18, going from 25th to 7th. And most places lost was Ryan Preece and Chase Briscoe with 24. Preece went second to 20, and Briscoe went fourth to 28th. Your DNFs were JJ Yeley, Larson, and Josh Berry. Now, I'm not going to lie, I was focusing more on the Yukon, and we won it. So, heck yeah. But when Yukon won, I did focus back on the race. And it was a good race, I feel like. It was a little boring. You know, William Byron was on a tear for that first 2/3 of the race, and then decided to, all right, that's it. I'm out, guys. I can't do it. And decided to just not get back into the lead. There was a late stage caution. The final 3 laps, 2 laps, whatever it is. There was a caution because of the aforementioned Kyle Larson and Bubba Wallace. And Denny Hamlin was ended up in first, which is nuts. Ryan Blaney took the lead. The crash happened. Caution came out, and Denny Hamlin 2 laps by a lot for just after a caution, I feel like. But yeah, Denny 2 in a row. He's officially secured in the playoffs. With this win. Yeah. Jack, what are your thoughts?
Basically, Kyle Larson evidently is not used to not being in the lead.
What?
And he forgot how to drive while being lapped. But that's okay.
Yeah.
Um, Other than that, good to see Buescher running well. I am indifferent on seeing Ty Gibbs run well. It was kind of a snooze fest, this one. William Byron looked like he would dominate all day, and then nope. But
yeah,
I mean, I
it was
also
a
was
rough one.
watching. I was a little more focused on the women's basketball championship for obvious reasons, and I don't really think any of us missed much.
No, we did not. Um, cue the cue the Fernando Alonso towards Lewis Hamilton. He only knows how to drive starting first at Kyle Larson. He only knows how to drive when he's not being lapped. Um, anyway, onto the probably, the Cup race was boring, don't get me wrong. It was not the most boring race of the weekend. That title goes to Formula One and the Japanese Grand Prix at Suzuka. Your winner was Max Verstappen, who qualified on pole. Your remaining podium was Lando Norris in P2 and Oscar Piastri in P3. Your most was four. Four! With Jack Doohan, who went from P19 to P15. Your most places lost was Liam Lawson, who went from P14 to P17. No, only one car lapped. Jack had Yuki, who finished P12. I had Lando Norris, who finished P2. And F1 has an overtaking problem. They really do. Nobody can overtake anyone. And I'm so happy that I didn't ruin my sleep schedule to watch this race. I am so happy because I genuinely think I would have cried that night. I watched it after the race. It was boring. It was basically Monaco. I don't understand how. It's Suzuka. There's supposed to be overtakes, but it was Monaco 2.0. I guarantee you, and I will make this promise to everyone, Monaco will be a better race than Suzuka. Jack, what are your thoughts? I don't know if you watched it, but what are your thoughts?
I did watch it. I did stay up to watch it. Um, I regret staying up to watch it. it it was if the cup race for most of it was a snooze fest, I needed like a device to pry my eyes open for this one. Um, but I mean, really, my main takeaway was it was McLaren that really messed up their strategy by like if you have two drivers at the top, why not split the strategies?
McLaren pulled a Ferrari.
Yeah, like how are you making it into an advantage for the other team that they only have one competitive driver while you have two? Like that should not be an advantage. You should be able to use that flexibility to guarantee yourself more like points by splitting the strategies, but nope.
Yeah.
But
Also, to Lando Norris, he did not push, Max Verstappen did not push you out of the pit lane. It's single file, bud. Learn that. Um, I do love you though, and I hope you win next week. But
yeah, I mean they were both
eh,
clearly trying to game it a little bit.
yeah.
They both knew what they were doing. You could tell on both their radio messages. Both drivers were
And then they joked about it after, which made it even funnier. Max was like, "Yeah, I noticed the grass was a bit uneven, and so Lando mowed it." And then it was like, "Yeah, I wanted to mow the grass," and it's like, "What?"
because
And then somebody posted a meme to F1 TikTok of like Lando Norris in a damn tractor, like a literal tractor, and then Max also in a tractor. It was great. But yeah, Ferrari sucks. There's no overtaking. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, let's get on the predictions. On Friday you have the Truck Series race, truck race on April 11th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. The Truck Series go Corey Heim. Um, it's another win for the GOAT of the Truck Series, and yeah, that's my prediction. Jack, who do you have?
um, I think that in honor of the Huskies
Oh
winning a
my God,
national championship, I have deemed this week of racing to be Connecticut week. As such, the only driver in this Truck Series race representing the great state of Connecticut is Westport's own Parker Kligerman. So I'm picking him to win this race.
fantastic! Love that. Who's your second pick?
If not Kligerman, I'm also going to pick Corey Heim. But
There we go.
that's just because I already picked someone not named Corey Heim, and I think that I gotta cover my bases.
You're gonna
But
cover your ass when Parker Kligerman DNFs. That's what's gonna happen.
hey,
That's what this is.
hey,
That's
hey,
what this
hey,
is. It
look,
is
look.
CT week. He's not DNFing. He's not
He's
DNFing. It's
not gonna
CT week.
DNF. He's gonna get disqualified after a very impressive finish, and then it
Oh
won't get
no.
overturned, even though they think it will. But it's
Not the
okay.
first time. Not the third. Oh. On to Saturday, you have the NASCAR Series race, the Apps 300 at Bristol. But all three NASCAR races are at Bristol. On April 12th at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, I have the GOAT, uh, one of the best drivers in the Xfinity Series, and just Jack. Who do you have?
I obviously it's Connecticut week, which means
Yep.
that for the Xfinity race, it's going to be
Yep.
Ridgefield's own Anthony Alfredo.
Boo! Boo Ridgefield, not Anthony Alfredo. And who was your second pick, Jack?
If not Anthony Alfredo, because despite this Connecticut week shtick, I'm with this Connecticut week shtick. I mean, I'm also including a secondary pick. I am picking Corey Heim, who will be running this Xfinity race.
Let's go. On to Formula One. The Bahrain Grand Prix on April 13th at 11 a.m. Guys, it's finally at a normal time for East Coast people. So happy. I have Oscar Piastri, my Australian king and brother to the iconic Haiti Piastri and Nicole Piastri, who are much better than him at everything. Jack, who do you have?
Well, unfortunately, there are no Connecticut drivers in F1,
Yep.
so I am picking a driver who feasibly could be attending a Connecticut high school right now in Lando Norris.
Are you saying he looks young enough to attend a high school?
Yeah,
I no. All right.
and I think he's got the
You're
attitude
not.
for it too. You know, go to high school
No.
in suburbia in Connecticut. I think he'd fit right in.
Good. Hey, he would go to school in Fairfield County.
Yeah.
He'd actually, you know what? You know, I want to make this. I'm going to make the. If Landon Norris went to school in Connecticut, he would go to King's School where Charlie D'Amelio went. Because that's a rich school. That's a rich school, guys. If you don't know what King's School is, rich.
that is that
Um,
is private college tuition prices.
yes, for high school. And Charlie D'Amelio went there. Fun fact. Um, so for the Cup Series, you have the Food City 500, also Bristol 13th at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Um, I have Denny MF Hamlin to make it three in a row on the last second Hail Mary. Jack, who do you have?
All right. So, as Connecticut week continues, we have Berlin's own Ryan Preece, who's my first pick to win here, or Middletown's own. I believe he's from Middletown. Middletown's own
Yeah, Middletown.
Joey Logano, and
Middletown and
then
Berlin.
my obligatory non-Connecticut pick, much like with Corey Heim going up to Xfinity, I'm going to be picking Jesse Love running in Cup this week, just to
Jesse
throw that in.
Love.
But
All right.
the double Connecticut pick really is, it's got to be one of them, right?
It's going to be a 1-2. Priest wins, Logano second. Actually, no, I need to have Logano win and Priest second because. Hold on. Let me. Jacket. Wait a second. Wait a minute. Hold up. People who aren't on the YouTube, you're not going to see this. Oh shoot! I don't know how many butts goes up to where. One, two, three. Bang. Jack. It's Logano time.
Let's go. Oh, that's updated. Let's go.
Yes. It's your Logano time. All right, and the Steph Curry Winter Soldier arm sleeve dress shirt. All right. Uh, On to the IndyCar Acura Grand Prix of Long Beach. It's at April 13th at 4 p.m. Eastern. I have I have a feeling that this is going to be my pick the entire year, but I have Alex. God, he's so good at racing, man. Oh my God. He needs better competition. Yeah, throw
So
me in there.
I know it's Connecticut week, and so I know that I should pick Woodbury, Connecticut's Santino Michael Ferrucci. However, I actually hate him, so I'm going to be picking Colton Herta. Um, so there goes the Connecticut week shtick. But I would sooner die than pick Santino Ferrucci to win an IndyCar race.
Oh God, that was really funny. After all of the Connecticut picks, I'm not picking Connecticut. No, no, no.
I draw
Um,
the line at Santino Ferrucci, okay?
Yeah, I understand. So let's talk about next week a little bit. Um, is it next week? Next week's? Yeah, so next week's podcast is going to be on April 14th. And if you don't know, what is not happening on that Sunday, the 20th, there is no NASCAR, there is no IndyCar, there is just F1. So there might not be much to talk about. So I'm going to give a little preview to people who are listening this far in the pod. Um, we're going to be going over a look at our predictions, our preseason predictions for NASCAR and F1. We looked at our NASCAR predictions 5 races in, maybe our F1 predictions 1 race in. One thing I will do now, and I will also do next, because I would like to apologize to Kimi Antonelli. I was not familiar with your and how quick that Mercedes is and how well you are at driving, because you became uh, the youngest driver to lead a race, youngest driver to set a fastest lap, and you did it thrice. You didn't do it once; you did it thrice in one race. I apologize. I thought you were gonna be terrible, and you're actually like really good, and now you're making me regret my decision. It is what it is. Um, but yeah, that we're gonna go over that next week
Ooh, I was waiting to
because
hear
I
that one.
haven't. Yeah, I'm sorry to Kimmy and Sully. I am sorry. Um, but yeah, I don't have anything else. Jack, do you have anything to add other than Connecticut Week?
Yeah, happy Connecticut Week. Everyone go
Happy Connecticut
celebrate
Week.
Paige Becker's finally getting a championship. This is going to be the
Some
first of.
lampposts.
Oh,
Some lampposts were ripped out of the ground, but there was not that much destruction because it was not held at night.
hmm. Yeah, it's tough when you're in broad daylight to get away with that stuff.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna be
But
honest. I feel like these college kids shouldn't give a crap and should have done it anyway. Now I would not participate in that because I'm not gonna snitch. But for the people that have zero brain cells, which is not a lot of people on campus, because this is a smart campus for some reason. Um,
for some reason,
I'm just roasting UConn. Shit. Um, but I feel like there should have been a little bit more rowdy because I couldn't hear anything from my dorm room, and I was playing. What was I playing? I wasn't even doing anything. I was just on my phone.
you weren't out there.
Hearing, I couldn't hear rowdy anything. What?
You weren't out there.
Dog, I went back to my dorm. I immediately got on my Xbox and started playing as a woman on MLB The Show.
Damn,
Yeah.
that's crazy. Anyway,
And then I went to daily campus. So, it is what it is.
first of
Um,
four consecutive championships for Sarah Strong,
yep.
who might be the best player in the sport next year.
Oh, undoubtedly. Undoubtedly. I don't think Gigi Watkins? Nah. Anyone else? Nah. Sarah Strong.
She's actually so good. Um,
Arguably the MVP of that game. We're just talking basketball now. Like let's screw
this
it.
is and has always been a Yukon basketball pod.
Screw it. Exactly. Let's make it a UConn basketball pod, man. I'm gonna post a clip of this. I'm go when I do the clips of the podcast to post to social media. I'm gonna make a clip of this, and I'm gonna be like UConn national champions. And I don't care how the engagement tanks. I don't care. This is gonna be on. So I have to go
Look,
roll skis.
roll MF skis.
Roll MFCs.
Paige needed a championship before she graduated. AZ got redemption for the championship game her freshman year. Complete redemption. I mean, she won, basically MVP. Um, like it was a lovely game to watch. Again, as with the cup race and with the Xfinity race on Saturday, I was watching this from PNC Park, where the Pirates and Yankees were playing. And when the game ended, I was walking to a bus stop, on the streets of downtown Pittsburgh, going absolutely bananas. Uh,
Banana bus. Banana.
in
Sorry.
my, well outdated hoodie from when the men's team won the championship 2 years ago, my little like Huskies with the 5 for the S, in that
Yeah.
hoodie, just on the streets of downtown Pittsburgh, just losing it. And you know what? I hope for anyone out there listening that you get to experience that feeling someday.
I finally got to experience it. Yeah. I got to experience it. This is gonna be the best one. Yeah, I love her. I love my man. What's his name? Spurs dude, Stephon Castle. But man, oh man, am I happy for Paige Beckers.
Not gonna lie, I loved Castle. Cam Spencer is the player I missed the most from last year's team.
Who's that?
I love Cam Spencer.
Who's Cam Spencer? Is that that's the coach's son? Who's Cam Spencer?
Uh, he was a transfer, played last year.
Did he graduate?
Yeah, he graduated. He's with the Grizzlies now.
Oh yeah, good shit.
But
Anyway,
that man is energy.
screw Caravan.
What?
Nah, dude's ass. All right. Anyway,
What? He's a
nah,
living legend.
he's going undrafted.
He's a living legend. What are you
He
talking
sold.
about?
He sold.
What? So
He
did
sold.
everyone. They would have beat the eventual champions if they could hit anything from 3 that day.
Sold. Alex
Sold
Caravan.
what?
No,
One game against Villanova?
I'm
No,
blaming
I
this
will
solely on Alex Caravan. I'm
I
blaming this
will
solely on
not
Alex Caravan.
I will not tolerate disrespect of my goat, Alex Caravan.
No. Here's the reason why I'm disrespecting him is because he was the only leader in this team and couldn't lead for shit. All right, he
What?
should have set the day. He should have set the tone that UConn are winners, and he didn't do that, and we lost in the second round.
Florida's in the championship.
Is the game on right now, or is it on in 6 minutes?
I'm
I know
pretty
it's at
sure
like 7
it's
or 8:30.
on in like half an hour.
Oh shoot, it's at 9 a.m. Damn.
Um,
Anyway,
but like Florida
uh,
are favored in the national championship game. We'll obviously see how
yeah.
that turns out. But UConn had them on the ropes and just couldn't hit shots. And Walter Clayton did Walter Clayton things. I don't know how you can, like, they were the first team. Like, Florida, when they went back to back, didn't even make the tournament the next year. UConn won a tournament game. They set the modern tournament era record for tournament wins in a row. Like,
Caravan is the issue.
they
Actually,
didn't
I
win a
have to say, everyone on
championship,
the team is
sure.
an issue, but
Caravan was not himself for a lot of the season, but he was not the reason that the UConn men's team didn't win games. In my opinion, the reasons for that are Mahaney not panning out as a transfer, at least as much as they wanted him to, are Jaden Ross not taking as much of a step forward as he was probably like expected to and as much as he was talked up to. Like, those are kind of the two main ones. They couldn't get consistent guard play from, like, especially with Mahaney not turning into like the transfer point guard that they were kind of looking for, because that's not his skill set. And then Noel got hurt, so he couldn't turn into a contributor. And then his, mentor was
so do you wanna listen to what I have to say to that?
if you say a bad
Put
word,
me in, coach.
if you say a bad word about Alex Caravan one more time, I will be sending a to your address.
Dude, that's gonna have to get cut. That's gonna have to get cut. Dude, we're gonna get demonetized. We're gonna get demonetized. I'm gonna cut that exact sentence and then I'm gonna leave the reaction and that's it. All they're gonna hear is the reaction to that. I can't put that in. We're gonna get demonetized, bud. What
Just,
are we
I
doing?
will be.
I will be. Oh, screw it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I swear to God, I'm gonna do it. I will do it. I have to find a beep sound effect, but I will do it. God, that was amazing. That was really funny.
Look,
thought you were gonna say
I
you were
will
gonna come
defend
over
my
here.
goat.
I thought you were gonna say you were gonna come over here, and I was like, Do it. I dare you.
I knew you were going to say that, so I had to come up with a new plan.
So you said beep. See, I can't even say it. I have to beep it.
Wow. Wow, I did say that verbatim, actually. I actually
Kind of
said nothing
verbatim,
about.
man. Oh my god. Why are you silent now? What the what? All right, that's it. We're in the pod. This is this went from motorsports to UConn to a UConn basketball podcast in 2 seconds. What happened, man?
UConn
Thank you
won a
guys for
fucking
watching.
championship. That's what happened. Respectfully. Beep that too. I don't care.
Respectfully, respectfully, Gino, you stay until Sarah Strong is gone. I swear to God.
I mean, didn't he
If
just
you
sign an
leave
extension?
mid-generation, I don't know. I just know that Gino was asked, and he's like, I don't know. I'm around all these young people, so I feel younger. And I was like, hell yeah, Gino, you are 71, you feeling young? Hell yeah.
It's my
But
goat.
I need Gino to carry dude, if we get another generational talent on the team on Sarah Strong's senior year, I swear to God, Gino will never retire. I swear to God, he is not gonna retire. He's gonna be 130 years old and still coaching UConn basketball.
It is crazy that the two best basketball coaches in the country are both in Stores, Connecticut.
Chris Daly?
What? Are
Oh,
you
no,
not a.
what's her name? No, oh, you mean Hurley.
Yes, I mean Dan Hurley.
Oh, you mean dude? Them veins were popping, dude. And you see
But
that press conference? His veins were popping.
yeah, no, I mean Chris Daly is also clearly an integral part of what
Oh,
UConn
it's
women's
Chris
basketball
Daly.
has been able to do. But uh,
How old are you, Chris Daly?
and
Can you take the reins from Gino? You're 65. Maybe not. I mean, if Gino retires in the next like 2 years, yeah, give Chris Daly the reins.
I hope Gino sticks around.
I hope he does too. He has to stick at least through Sarah Strong. That's a generational talent.
Yeah,
You can't just stop coaching for it unless like there's a major health issue. Don't stop coaching until. But if we get another generational talent, like Gino alone pulls so much aura and like just recruiting power from everyone else.
yeah. It and at this point, his coaching style is not like it's not like Hurley where you could see age really holding Hurley back because he's so
Yeah.
animated. I mean, Gino's out there pretending he's a ref. Like he's yelling at his own players for daring to commit a foul instead of yelling at the refs for calling it. Like
Yeah.
it, he's an incredible coach, and also he's calm enough that I don't know. I have faith in him sticking around.
I think I'll stick around until at least Sarah's gone. At least. If not, if another generational talent comes along. If anything, just move Chris Daly to coach and move Gino to as assistant coach and just have him swap.
Gino is
So
part-time
Gino just,
vibes officer,
yeah. Like, Gino,
fun
like, has
grandpa.
to be. Oh, I know somebody who is Jim Calhoun's grandson. Fun fact.
Yeah, isn't that guy like active on Twitter? Or sorry, X, the everything app.
Is he? I don't know. To be
Name
honest,
like
I don't know. I
Sam
just
or
know he's
something.
dope. Oh my God. You know who that is. Holy shit. Yeah, he's dope. I love Sam. Uh, where is keep what's relevant as? How do you know that?
I I do my time on Yukon Twitter.
How do you know that, Doc? How? What the hell? But yeah,
Follow the
he's
team.
like the
I'm involved
grandson
in the
of.
team online space.
Interesting. You are on more. You are on Yukon Twitter, and I am not. Let's just make it
Well,
clear.
you're actually at friggin' Yukon. Let's be honest.
Yeah, that's true.
I went
That's
to nerd
true.
school out in Pittsburgh.
Um, yeah, I think Yukon's gonna come for vengeance. Uh,
Uh,
what are you laughing at? This is become a hangout now. It went from it went from motorsport to UConn basketball to just boys hanging out. We're ending the damn pod. God damn it. We're gonna end the pod so I can upload it, edit it, and put it out. All right.
Roll skis.
Thank Roll skis. Thank you for watching.